Hi everyone, I'm Luciana Cordero, your host, and welcome back to the Diamond Moment. Today I'm here with Jhaydon. Hi Jhaydon, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Okay, we're gonna be talking a little bit about the Battle of Tampa Bay that's coming up, but I also want to know about you as a fighter, your journey in fighting, and how you got to where you are today. So to get started, I wanted to know how long have you been competing for, and what got you into the sport?
The November will probably be about 3 months of me competing and striking. I did my first fight September 19th at NFC in Atlanta. Went the distance, but I did lose. What got me into it was I used to wrestle in high school. I've always found an affection for striking, for grappling. I've really enjoyed the ability to put my hands on somebody, so to say, and it's just been a thriving thing for me in the gym as far back as I can remember. It's just been enjoyable.
Yeah, and what motivates you to keep pushing forward?
My kids, my family, God, um, my coaches, Tommy Prisco and David Hicks, they refuse to let me fail. So they're a big
Yeah, I
supporter and a
mean,
big motivator for me.
definitely. Yeah, having having a good group of people around you that supports you is so important. I've talked to multiple fighters about this before, and yeah, it really does make a difference having someone to be able to like fall back to, as well as having someone to look up to. So, do you have any mentors in the sport?
Uh, Tommy Prisco would be my only direct mentor, and David Hicks. David, he's my jiu-jitsu coach, and he's the reason that I competed in Naga. And Tommy's the reason that I started striking in the first place. He wouldn't stop asking me to come, so I went, and 3 months after going to my first striking class, I was competing and striking. So
Yeah, we kind of talked a little bit, like you brushed a little bit about this, but um, what is it that you enjoy so much about being part of this sport?
at first, it was just a way to let off steam when I there was a 6 year time period of me not doing any type of competitions or anything. I got fat and lazy, and then I fell back in love with it. At first, it was just getting into the gym, and then it became like an obsession. I became obsessed with getting better. I became obsessed with wanting to see if the guy who tapped me out the last time, if I can tap him out this time. And yeah, just an obsession, I guess. Really, that's what it came down to.
Yeah, I can see how that would happen. I think that's really interesting, because it's a very physical sport. So you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
train a lot physically, but it's also a very mental sport because you can't, like, your body can't perform if your mind is not to the level, right? So I wanted to know
Absolutely.
what you think about that.
I think the mental game has a lot to do with the support group around you. If I was doing this alone and I was just going to your average gym and had a coach coaching me, not really caring about who I am as a person and what I want to do with what I'm doing, I don't think I'd be able to go as far. Like I said, I competed, but I competed on a high school level. I've never pushed my body to the point that I've pushed it now. When I first started my journey, I was 300 pounds, and that was almost a year ago. And, I'll be fighting at 200 at the Tampa Bay. So there was a mental hurdle there of, will I even ever be able to put my body through that? Am I mentally ready to see what it takes? Because there were times where I would go home punching my steering wheel, just frustrated at myself because I couldn't do what I thought I could do.
Yeah, and what was that process like? Like with like losing that much weight, for example. Like, how did that happen? Like, what did you do? How was it like? What were you thinking in that moment, and what were you doing to make it possible?
Well, it started off. I had a disease called gout, and it's like the inverse of arthritis. I had crystals that would grow between my joints, so I had to fix my diet because of that. And I started fixing my diet pretty much at the exact same time I started training. So losing the weight itself kind of happened. I don't want to say naturally, but I didn't fight to lose the weight. I wasn't I didn't have to fight to lose the weight until I was down to 230 pounds and I actually wanted to fight. It was when I decided to fight that the struggle to lose weight became real.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting. Um, I wanted to know as well, like, what would you say is like the most valuable lesson that you have learned so far? Like that martial arts has taught you so far. I mean, you still have a whole road ahead, and you probably learn more about it as you go. But so far, what would you say is the thing that you treasure the most?
Uh, Probably a cliche, but the support group. I cherish all the men around me that hold me up to a higher degree than I ever thought I could be held to. That's probably my biggest takeaway from all of this. Even if I never fight, I have those guys behind me, no matter what.
Yeah, it's like I've heard a lot of people say that the people that they fight with and like everyone, like their coaches, their teammates, they're all like a big family, and that
Yep.
it's like really nice to have this other like support group and people that maybe if you didn't get into the sport, you wouldn't necessarily have them, um, which is really nice to hear about how like a sport can build such a strong community. But yeah, so let's get into talking a little bit more about Battle of Tampa Bay. I wanted to ask you what your expectations are for this promotion. What do you think is going to happen? Are you excited? Are you nervous? What are the emotions that you have right now?
I'm excited. My first fight, I was nervous. This one, I'm excited. Uh, I don't even think I've ever been to Tampa Bay, so that's going to be pretty cool. I hear it's not in Tampa Bay, but whatever. I'm excited to go to Florida, excited to fight. Uh, our team has been to Battle of Tampa Bay before, and I believe both of our guys came back victorious. So I'm excited to see if I can keep that ball rolling. We got 5 guys coming down to fight, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's really fun, and it's really interesting to see how all of you guys like perform, because it's like you're fighting individually, but then you're also a team. So it's really interesting to see that support too. The next thing that I wanted to ask you is, what do you think that we can expect as the audience, like watching you fight in the Battle of Tampa Bay?
A show. That's all I can hope for is to put on a show. I hope he brings the same energy. I mean, from what I can see, he seems like a small guy, so I can only assume he's putting on weight to get to my weight. I'm cutting down. I'm used to walking around at 300 pounds, so I'm gonna I'm gonna be coming out there a little bit faster than most 200 pounders come out. I'm gonna be coming out there a little bit more springy, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what I hope he puts on a show. I don't want to go out there and it just be us standing and staring at each other. I hope to get hurt. And I hope to hurt him, but I hope we are both safe in doing so.
Yeah, and what is it like standing there when you're like face to face to your opponent? What goes through your mind?
I have 2 answers. My first is he's my opponent. Like I want to see him hurt, and I want him to see him hurt by me. But I'm also a man of God. I love God. God is Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. So I also feel bad that we both enjoy doing something that involves hurting each other. If I don't know that I don't feel bad. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I think like what I've heard so far about a bunch of different fighters who have asked this question too, it's like um it's kind of like the means to an end in a way, but
Yep.
not really. But like you're both there, you both are doing the sport that you love and you know what it takes. and there's a lot of respect that comes in that. Like, I've heard a lot that it's so important to not like underestimate your opponent and think like, oh, I've been training, so I'm just gonna like beat them. It's important to remember that this is another person that's been training as much as you've been training, probably.
if not more.
Yeah, if not more, which is really interesting. And I like, what do you think about that?
I think that I don't train enough. I don't think anybody trains enough. I push, like I said before, I pushed my body to the furthest it's ever been pushed, and I don't feel like I've pushed enough. When it's hard for me to walk up the stairs, I feel like I should be crawling up the stairs. When it's hard for me to get out the car, I feel like I should be falling out the car. I don't feel like I've ever done enough work, nor do I feel like I deserve the opportunities ahead of me, but I'm excited to take them.
Right. And I think that's what really matters. Like, I feel like there's either two ways that you can go, especially in martial arts, that is such, so filled with just such excitement and adrenaline. And you could either go the way where you're just like, I'm above everyone else, and just have that mentality, which doesn't really like help you get an right, or you could just like be humble about it and keep working on yourself. But I really like how you said that even if you may think that you don't deserve something, you will still jump at the opportunity to give it a
Absolutely.
try. That's really important. We've also talked about like the points in the fighting career where you learn the most are not usually when you're up there winning, it's when you're down losing. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about getting that strength to stand back up? Like, how important is it to be able to stand up, either
It's
like literally or like, figuratively?
In my last fight, I had a hard time standing back up. The guy that I was fighting was really good at keeping me on the ground. So it's funny you say that. Uh, I think that when you doubt yourself is when the ability to be doubted comes into play. You don't ever want to go out there with your opponent doubting you. When your opponent doubts you, it gives them a sense of, I own the ring. And when you doubt yourself, it can be clearly seen on your face. One of the things that when I first started my journey, my coach, my coach he's a black belt in multiple arts. Hold on, Bubba. I'm not joining.
And you bring me, and we were supposed, and
He's a black belt in multiple arts, and Amir was his teacher at one point. I think Tommy has also fought in the Battle of Tampa Bay. I'm not sure, but one of the things he really drilled into me was to just get those negative thoughts out of my head. I strike with a lot of people, and a lot of them are a lot better than me, in my opinion. But if you go back and watch us spar, you see me doing more to them than they are to me, and that's one of those things where I doubt myself, and I shouldn't be. And I think I got off track of the question.
No, that's good. I was asking about like how important do you think it is to stand back up after you're being like pushed down?
Right.
So I think that
Very
you are
important.
answering pretty well. Yeah.
Daddy,
What, Bubba?
I'm hungry.
Okay, it's almost dinner time.
So I'm gonna be down here till
Yes.
dinner done.
Uh-huh. But you gotta be quiet so I can do my interview, okay?
This is a really snack.
Okay, in a second. Okay. Go back upstairs with Sissy. And sit down.
Well, we only have one more question.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I totally get it. So my last question, which I love to ask fighters, especially when I'm closing the interview, is what advice would you give to anyone that's trying to get into martial arts? Maybe it's their first time trying it out, or they're considering maybe start competing. What advice would you give to these people?
You're never doing enough. When when I first started jogging, I only did a mile, and that wasn't enough. And then I did 2 miles, and that wasn't enough. Now I'm up to 4 miles at 200. I walk around at 220. And when I'm done with that fourth mile, it doesn't feel like enough. If you feel like you've done enough, then you're doing something wrong, or you're just the most talented person in the world. There's never enough work to be done. When I come home after a practice, I'm still not done. I still have to get my mind right. I have to get my body right. I might do another workout. I never feel like you're doing enough work.
Yeah, right. I really like that. It's like it's not that you're bad, but you can always be better. So
Absolutely.
better. Yeah.
And you should be better tomorrow than you were today.
Exactly. So that was it for the interview. Thank you so much, Jhaydon. I just wanted to give you this space now to tell our audience anything that you want, invite them to come see you at the Battle of Tampa Bay. It's your moment.
I don't have much to say. Come watch the show. There's as far as I know, I think there's 14 fighters, so there's 7 fights. Come watch the show.